Hello and welcome to another episode of Ranking Motorcycles. So with the first episode, I actually didn't do it correctly because I was supposed to do the tier list, but I was still trying to figure out how to get it working. But on today's episode, I'm going to make sure that I add into the video just to give it some context. But before I start, I just want to reiterate that all my scores are just my 100% opinion. And if you disagree with that, that's fine. But this is just how I see it. And today I'm going to rank 15 motorcycles that are LAMS approved. And I've asked ChatGPT to give me a list of bikes, and they're mostly sport bikes. I could have just added in some naked bikes as well, but for this purpose alone, I'm just going to stick to the sport bike segment. So we'll start. Alrighty, so for our first bike, we've got a Benelli 302R. I am not familiar with this bike, honestly, and I've never even seen one in person. So for that, I'm going just to give it a C. And then for our next bike, it would be the CF Moto 450 SR. It's released on 2023. It's got a 449 parallel twin. It's got a modern TFT dash and an aggressive styling. It borrows a lot of ethos from the Ducati. I believe the designer came from Ducati himself. And when you put a custom exhaust, like full system exhaust on this bike, you can hear a lot of Ducati sound to it. And it sounds really good. It's pretty loud. I've sat on it. I've ridden this bike, and I can honestly say it's a really good beginner sport bike. You probably would have kept this bike forever. And for that, I'll give it an A. I'm not a fan of CF Moto myself, but I like what they're doing. So, I'm gonna give them credit for the CF Moto 450. For our next one, we've got KTM RC 390. It came out on 2017. Now, same with Benelli. I am not really familiar with this bike. I do want to own one, but unfortunately there's not one near me. I don't know anyone that rides a RC 390, so for now we're just gonna give it a C. And then for our next one, we've got the CF Moto 300 SR. So this bike, I believe, has a lot of similarities to the 450, but it doesn't have a lot of the really good features that the 450 has. I mean, even the 450 has the single-sided swing arm. This doesn't. I haven't ridden the 300, but it looks pretty good, and I believe it's more on the affordable side as well. So if you're a beginner and wanting to get a motorbike but doesn't want to break your bank, I highly recommend getting into the 300 SR. So I'll give this a B. And then for our next one, we have the KTM RC200. So if I'm correct. I think the KTM RC200 is the successor of the Duke 155. I believe it's 155. I've ridden that bike and I can honestly say that it's a really good beginner bike. It's very fun and it's got enough power and it's got a lot of torque as well. But I'm not sure about the RC200. They could have changed it. I could be wrong. I don't have a lot of input on the RC200, but we're just gonna give it a C as well. For our next one, we've got the Aprilia RS 457. So this is the new release from Aprilia. They are getting into the LAMS market, the middleweight LAMS market. And if you're a big fan of the Aprilia, this will probably be a choice for you. It's got a good styling, Italian, and it's a twin cylinder engine, I believe. I believe it's got a lot of technology from the RS660. I could be wrong once again, but the 457 is not going to be affordable, and I'm not 100% sure about Aprilia's reliability as well, since they're Italian. Mainly if you want to start getting into motorcycles, you want to get Japanese, just to be sure. But I like it. It's a really good looking bike. I've never even seen one in person as well, and for that I'll give it a C. Number 7, we've got the Suzuki GSX 8R LAMS. So this also came out from 2024. It's their new mid-range bike. I'm not a big fan of the styling myself. I've seen the naked version of this bike, and I reckon it's a better looking bike than the sport version of it. I haven't ridden this myself, but from what my friend told me, apparently it's pretty good. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of input on this bike, so I'm just gonna give it a C. Next one, we've got the Suzuki GSX 250R. It's their entry-level learner sport bike. I've ridden one of these before, and I can tell you it's very nice to ride. It's very balanced. It's got enough power to it, and it's very affordable. And for that, I'll give it a B. Next, we've got the Kawasaki Ninja 500. Now, this is the successor to the 400. It came out in 2024. I've ridden this bike, and it's a lot similar to the previous model, but they've upgraded their display. It looks a lot better than the previous model, and nothing wrong with it. I like it. I'll just give it a B. And then for the next one, we've got the Kawasaki Ninja 650. Now, this bike is a little bit different than the other sport bikes. This is more of a torque focused bike. It's got a different styling to it. It's less aggressive and more comfortable. I've ridden this bike. I got a friend who owns the Ninja 650, and it's a really nice bike. I can honestly say that this is a really good bike if you want to have that mid-range sport bike to own, and this is a keeper. Honestly, there's really no point of upgrading if you have this bike, so I'll give it an A. Next, we've got the CBR 500. I'll just read it again. So it's got the Honda CBR 500R. This came out on 2016, and I've ridden this bike before. It's very similar to the Yamaha R3, and it's a lot more torquey compared to the R3. They have a similar high-end profile. I believe they almost have the same top speed, even though the 500 has a bigger engine to it. It's comfortable, it's very nice to ride, and it's a really good entry-level sport bike. So for that, I'll just go with the B. Next, we've got the Honda CBR 650R. I believe this was launched on 2019. This bike has an inline 4 engine, which has that litrebike sound to it. So it will have really low torque, but a lot of high-end power. I got a friend who owns this bike. I've ridden this bike myself. It's got a comfortable sitting position, but aggressive enough to feel like a liter bike. And I like this bike, mainly because it's the only LAMS approved bike you can get that has an inline 4 engine. I could be wrong. So this bike will go into my S tier. Alrighty, on to the next. Next, we've got the Yamaha R7. So this bike is a new release from Yamaha. Well, not new. It came out a couple of years ago, but this is when they're trying to phase out the R6. Now the R6 unfortunately is a track-only version, but the R7 is, I wouldn't say the successor, but it's the replacement for their mid-range sort of motorbike. And with this bike, they released 2 versions, and they've got the LAMS version and the non-LAMS version. I really like the look of this bike, and I think they've done well with this release. It's really popular. A lot of new riders are preferring the R7 because obviously it's something that they can get their hands on while they're a learner, and at the same time it's got, you know, the mid-range power that they need, so they wouldn't need to upgrade to a more powerful bike. And I've got a lot of friends who owns the R7. Very, very low torque focused bike, so it's easy to wheelie on some levels. I like it personally, so I would put this bike on A. Alright. Next, we've got the Kawasaki Ninja 400. So this is the previous model of the Ninja 500, and obviously they're very similar in a lot of ways, but I still like the 400 more than the 500, mainly because of the analog dash and the looks of it mainly, and it sounds really good as well with a full system exhaust, you know. I'm gonna put this bike on the A tier. Alright, so for number 15, we've got the Yamaha R3. So I used to own this bike myself, and I really love the Yamaha R3. It's really good bike to start on when you're a learner, and even if you're not a learner, it's something that you can ride around town, or if you just want to go to, you know, do some corner riding. It's really good. Even commuting, you know, it's got enough power to go highways and overtake cars and stuff. And I just had a lot of fun on the R3, and I'm glad they haven't changed anything in regards to the power and the ergonomics of it. I think with the new one they've upgraded the display, but I haven't ridden the latest generation R3. But I'm gonna put this onto the S tier just because I know what it's like to own an R3, and it's such a perfect learner bike in my opinion. And that's it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you disagreed with my list, that's just my opinion. That's just how I feel with ranking these motorcycles. And let me know what you think. Put down in the comments if you've got any ideas of what I should rank next. And please like the video and subscribe and hit the bell icon as well. Thank you.